Okay, so let's go to the week 13. This week, the part 2. This the quantitative research method class. So this is a logistic regression. This is a kind of the regression analysis. So this is the another material I will give you. So today I have some practice and the question and have some. This they have also they have some procedure you can follow. Okay, so let's see the first question. A display rule refers to displaying an appropriate emotion in a given situation. For example, if you receive a Christmas present that you don't like, the appropriate emotion display the emotion display is to smile, political, and say thank you, indicate, and I'm always want a rotten cabbage. And the inappropriate emotional display is to start crying and scream. Why did you buy me a rotten cabbage? You selfish old bag. And a psychiatrist measures children's understanding of display rule with tests that could either pass or fail, and their age is months, and their ability to understand other mental state. Theory of mind measured with the false belief test they could pass or fail, and the data are in display.sav. Can display rule understanding did the children pass the test, yes or no, be predicted from the theory of mind. Did the child pass the false belief test, yes or no, age and their interaction. Okay, so we also provide the SPSS file. So you go the week 3, week 13, you can see the file display.sav. This file will open. Okay, so let's see the question. Can display rule understand the predict from the theory of mind? Okay, did the child pass the first in the age and their interaction? So we can see the data. So you see the 3 variables. Okay, so the first is age, and the second is the false belief understanding FB, and the display rule understanding display. Okay, so false belief understanding is 0 and 1, and the display rule understanding is 0 and 1. Okay, so we see the file, so we can see the can display rule understand be predicted from the theory of mind. Okay, and the age and their interaction. Okay, so this display rule understanding is the dependent variable, and the theory of mind is pass the false belief test. This is the independent variable, age independent variable, and their interaction. Okay, so let's see the SPSS data. So we open the file display.sav, and notice the both of the categorical variable have been entered as coding variable. The outcome variable is called as 1 One is having display rule understanding, and the 0 represents absence of display rule understanding for false belief task. A similar coding has been used. One is pass the face false belief task, and 0 is the fail the false belief task. Okay, so let's go to this is a logistic regression. So we go to the analyze, and you choose the regression, and you choose the binary logistic. So not linear, it's a binary logistic. To access the main dialog box in the figure, okay? Okay, so the dependent variable is the display rule understanding, okay? And you see the covariate, see the age, and false belief, and also this one. This is the interaction. So you can see interaction, and there is the false belief, and in age interaction. Okay. So the put interaction again, select H and FB while holding down. Okay, try. Okay. And in the category or dialog box, you can check the covariate we specify in the main dialog box are this on the left hand side. Okay. And drag any category of variable you have. In this example is FB to the category covariate. FB is by default SPSS statistic use the indicator coding. Okay. The standard dummy variable coding is displayed in the book. This is fine for us because FB have only 2 categories, but to each interpretation change the reference category to first and click change. Click change. Okay. And complete. Okay, so this is the first. You can see the reference category. You choose the first. Okay, so default is this. You choose the first and click change. And you see the category covariate, they change the first. In the save, the continue and the save, okay. Dialog box, select the option. Okay. And you choose the probability and the group membership, and the inference 3, choose 3, and the standard line. Okay, the continue, and the option, choose option. Okay, dialog box, select the option show, and you can see the classification plot, and the Osmer names show goodness of fit, and the case-wise listing of raster and the outliner, okay, and the interaction history, and the CI for is be 95%, okay, and at each step. Okay, and continue. So we can, okay, so we can put, okay. Okay, so the first part of output tells the parameter coding give to the category predictor variable. Okay. So we can see the okay, so in the first step, and we see the classification table, okay, indicate how well the model predict group membership. Okay, the current model classify 23. Understanding, okay, now display rule, okay, display rule, okay, so C. No, display rule, written number, okay. Oh, step 1, okay, step 0, step 1. Okay, so you can see the step 1 is the current model correctly classify 23 children who don't have display rule understand but misclassed by others. Example is correct classify 74.2% of cases for children who do have display rule understanding. The model correctly classified 33, okay, and misclassified 6 cases. For example, correctly classified 84.6% of cases. The overall accuracy of classification is therefore the weighted average of these two values 80%, so when only two constants was included, the model correctly classified the 56% of children, but now the inclusion of FB as predictor, this had rising to 80%. Okay. 56. So you can see the 56, okay? And the constant include the model, okay? And okay. So this is the step 1. And you can see the step 0. Okay. So in the step 0, we can see the okay, so this the step 0, you can see the initial output tells us about the model when only the constant is included. For example, all predictor variables are omitted, and the log likelihood of baseline model is the 96.124. This represents the fit of the model when include only the constant. Okay, only the constant. Initially, every child is predicted to belong to the category in which most observed cases fail. In this example, there were 39 children. You can see 39 children who had display rule. Okay. Children, okay. Okay. And only 31 who didn't. Therefore, of the 2 available options, it's better to predict all children have display rule. Understand because this results in greater number of correct predictions. Overall, the model correctly classified 55.7% of children. Okay. And the next part of output summary, the model and this stage. You can see the output and you can see the B0 is the 0.23. Okay. And we saw the stage 1. Okay, so it's the constant were included, and the model classified 56% of children, but now the include of FB as a predictor. Okay, this had rising to 80%. 80%, okay. A variable equation. Okay. So do you see this the variable okay, this one is the non-significant. Okay. The next part output tells us the estimate for the coefficient for the predictor include the model. The coefficient represent the change in the logic of the outcome variable associated with one unit change in the predict variable. And so stage 1. Okay. Okay, so we can see the list in here. We have the output. Okay. Output 4. A variable in equation. Okay, so we can see the significance. Step 1. Now this one. Okay. Display. Okay. Stage 1. Okay. And you can see the R is the 0.4429. You can see in the output. This model summary. Okay, so this is the logistic equation. Okay. And also you can see the output. And this is a classification plot show the predict probability of the child passing the display rule test. Okay. If the model perfectly fit the data, then this histogram should show all the cases for which the event has occurred on the right hand side, and the case for which the event hadn't occurred on the left hand side. In this example, the only significant predictor is dysnomous, and so there are only two columns of cases on the plot. As rule of thumb, the more that the case cluster at each end of the graph, the better, okay? In this example, there's two N on the right and the model, and one Y on the left on the model. This mixed case by case, and the fact that relative fit of them suggests the model is making correct prediction for most children. Okay. Okay, so they go this question. A test group is are there inferential case of outlier in the model for this previous practice. To answer this, we need to look at the model result. The main purpose of the exam result in the logistic regression is to isolate point for which the model fits poorly, and the second is isolate point that is there undue influence on the model. Okay, and to assess the form, we examine the result, especially the student result, standardized result, and the device statistic. All these statistics have the common property that 95% of cases in a very normally disputed sample should have value which lie within the positive negative 1.96, and the 99% of cases should have the value that lie with the positive negative is the 2.58. Okay. So we can see the case summary, okay? Okay, so let's case summary. So we can see the another in the regression logistic, okay, in the category FB, yeah, save option. Style, postscript, see the yeah, is the B. Oh, B, okay. And the forward method of forward, this choose the forward, okay. Forward method for regression, okay. And the category, okay. These two. This, okay. And the first exchange, okay. Okay, continue, save. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The option, and continue. Okay. No outline. Okay. Analyze regression, binary logistic. Yeah, it's correct. Display, yeah. H. FB. Okay. Yeah. Okay, the first, yeah. save 这个题啊。ruler okay option outline 下地方continue okay so yeah and we see this is significant okay so okay so we saw the okay so let's see the second question outliner okay this is the case summary okay okay so let's see the text 2 are there any influential case of outliner in the model for test 1 so in SPS you can go the analyze and the report case summary so you choose the analyze group inference statistic and the leverage value normalize restore and debate for constant debate for the deep understanding okay and okay and you can see this table okay compare the same table yeah. Okay so okay. So we can see the crook distance, okay, and average the center restore and the d beta value, okay, in here, okay. The d beta less than the 1, okay, so you can see the output less than 1, okay, less than 1. And the leverage statistic choose to the calculate expect value of 0.03 and leverage you can see the output leverage value, okay. As before and the case summary. Okay, leaving to first 100. Okay. Summary. Use value. Okay. .3. Okay. So okay, so let's go to the practice 3. Pip and this paper show that the people of higher social class are more unpleasant. In the first study in their paper, they observed the behavior of drivers, and they classify social class by the type of car, vehicle, on 5-point scale, and they then observe whether the driver car in front of other car at the PD interaction, okay, video cut, and the data are in the P is the 20 2012 vehicle SAV to do a logistic regression to see whether social class predict whether or not a driver car in front other vehicle. Okay. So in here you can see the only one predictor variable is the vehicle in the dataset, so I select forced entry method of regression. Okay, so first we find the vehicle, this file, and they want to do a logistic regression to see whether social class predict whether a driver cut in front of other vehicle. Okay. So in the data we have the two variables. First one is the vehicle status, and the next one is the vehicle cut. Okay, so we run the logistic regression, go to the analyze and the regression and the binary logistic, and the dependent variable is the delay cut. This is the vehicle cut. Okay, and the covariance, you choose the vehicle status. Okay, so and the method is enter as okay. Regression, okay, so the first block of output tells us about the model when only the constant is included. In example, there are 34 participants who didn't cut off. They didn't cut off the other vehicle at the intersection, and the 240 who didn't. Okay. Therefore, the two available options is better to predict that all participants didn't cut off other vehicles because this result is a greater number of correct prediction, and the contingency table for the model. Okay, so you can see the model in this basis that show the predicting that all participants didn't cut off other vehicle result in the with a 0% accuracy for those who didn't cut off other vehicle and 100% accuracy for those who didn't. Overall, the model correctly classified 80. You can see the 87.6% of the participants. And the table label variable in the equation at the stage contain only the constant. Okay, so in the constant, which had the variable b0 is the negative 1.954. Okay. The table label variable not in the equation. Okay, equation. The bottom line of the table report the restore chi-square. Statistic. Label all over the statistic as the 4.009, which is only just significant at the p is equal 0.045. This statistic tells the coefficient for the variable not in the model is significant, different from 0. In other words, that the addition of this variable to the model will significantly improve its fit. And also we can see this. Okay, the next part of output deals with the model after the predictor variable vehicle has been added to the model. You can see the vehicle. And a person now is classified as either cutting of other vehicle than at the intersection or not, based on the type of vehicle they are driving. Okay. The output shows the summary statistic about the new model. The overall fit of the new model is significant. You can see the variable. Okay. New model is significant, yeah. Because the model chi-square in the table label omnibus test, you can see the test or model coefficient is significant. Okay. Chi-square is 4.161 and the significant p-value is 0.041. Therefore, the model that includes the variable vehicle predict whether or not participants cut off other vehicles at the interaction better than the model that include only the constant. Okay. And the classification table indicates how well the model predicts group membership. In step 1, the model correctly classified 240 participants who didn't cut off other vehicles and didn't misclassify any. For participants who did cut off other vehicles, the model correctly classified 0. And the misclassified is the 34. Oh. Okay, and the overall accuracy of classification is 87.6%. Okay, therefore accuracy is no different than only constant including them in the model. We can see the constant is the same. Okay, and we saw the variable equation. Okay. Variable equation. The significance of what statistic is 0.047, which is less than the 0.05. Therefore, we can conclude that the status of vehicle the participant was driving significantly predict whether or not they cut off another vehicle at the intersection. However, I interpret this significance in the context of the classification table. Which shows adding the predictor of vehicle didn't result in any more case being more accurately classified. Okay, so this is the list. Okay, so let's continue the test for the practice. In their second study, PEEP 2012 again observed the behavior of driver and classified social class by type of car, a vehicle. However, they observed where the driver cut off the pedestrian at the crossing pedestrian path. The data are a pedestrian.sab do a logistic regression to see whether social class predict whether or not a driver prevent a pedestrian for the crossing. Okay, as in the previous step, there only one predict variable, so we select the first entry, enter the method of regression, so we can see the table. This pedestrian, okay, we open it. Okay, so you can see the two variables in here, and one is the vehicle. You can see the value is none. In the delay cut the no and yes. Okay, so okay. So the question is do the logistic regression to see whether social class predict whether or not a driver prevent a pedestrian or for the crossing. Okay, so let's run the SPSS and the analyze and the regression and the binary logistic, and we choose the delay cut pedestrian in the okay, and the covariate is the vehicle status. Okay, and we click OK. And the first block output tells us about the model when only constraint is included. Constraints include. In this example, there are 45 participants who did cut of the pedestrian at the intersection, and 98 who didn't. Okay, therefore, two available options is better to predict that all participants didn't cut of other vehicles because there result a great number of correct predictions. The contingency table. Okay, so contingency table for the model in the basic state show the predicting that all participants didn't cut off pedestrian result in the didn't cut off with the, you can see the, this is the didn't cut. So predict is the 0% accuracy for those who did cut off pedestrian, and the 100 accuracy for those who didn't. Okay. Overall, the model correctly classified the 34.5% of the participants, and the table label variable in the equation. And the stage contains only the constant, okay, which had the value of B0 is the negative 0.596. The table label variable not in the equation. The bottom line of table report the restore chi-square stated is the 4977, which only just significant, and the p-value is the 0.029. This details the coefficient for the variable not in the model is significant different from 0. In other words, that addition of this variable to the model will significantly improve its fit. Okay. So next part is the output DL is the model after the predicted variable vehicle. Okay. Have been added to the model. As such, a person is now classified as either cut or penetrant and the intersection or not based on the type of vehicle they were driving. As measure of social status, the output shows the summary statistic about the new model. Okay. The overfit of the new model is significant because the model chi-square is in the table label is the 4.856, and the p-value is the 0.028. Therefore, the model includes the variable predict whether or not particular cut of pedestrian and the intersection better than the model have include only the constant. Okay, so we can see the classification table indicate how well the model predict group membership. In step 1, you can see the model correctly classified 95 participants who didn't cut off pedestrian and didn't misclassify any. Okay. E1, okay. And he correctly classified 92.9%. Okay. And for percent who did cut off pedestrian, the model correctly classified 6. And misclassified is 48. Correct classified is the 11.1. And over accuracy classification is the weighted average of these two values is the 63.8%. Therefore, the accuracy have decreased slightly. You can see the just constant is the 64.5, and you add the vehicle is 63.8. Okay, so this increase, the decrease. Okay, and also we see the variable equation. Okay, the significant or worst state statistic is the 0.031, which is less than the 0.05. Therefore, we can conclude that the status of the vehicle the participant was driving significant predict whether or not they cut off pedestrian and the intersection. Okay. So the next example Okay. 467 lecture complete questionnaire measure a burnout or not, perceived control, high score equal low score control, low perceived control. A coping style, high score equal high ability to cope with stress, and the stress from teaching, high score equal teaching create a lot of stress for person, and the stress from research, high score equal research create a lot of stress. Okay, for the person, and the stress from providing pastoral care. High score equal providing pastoral care create a lot of stress for the person. And the Cooper, Sloan, and Williams is the model stress indicate that perceived control and the coping style are important predictors of burnout. The remaining predictors were measured to see the unique contribution of different aspects of the nature work to their burnout. Conduct a logistic regression to see which factors predict burnout. The data are in the burnout.sab. So we can see the burnout. Okay, we open the burnout SAB file. Okay. So this question is the one to see which factor predict burnout. Okay. And the Cooper's law and the Williams model indicate the perceived control and the coping style are important predictors of burnout. Okay. So we saw the burnout and the perceived control and the coping ability and the stress for teaching, stress for research, stress for providing pastoral care. Okay. So we run the logistic regression. Go to analyze regression and the binary logistic, and the dependent we choose the burnout, and the covariance, and is the perceived control, and the coping ability. So coping ability and the control and we measure C unique. And the remain predictor we measure to see unique contribution different work in the burnout. Okay. So the next, see the teaching, research, and the pastoral. Okay. And see the question. You can see in here is already taken. The remain predictor will see the unique different lecture work their burnout. Okay. So we have the two. And the pastoral, you need to choose the Volvo LR. Okay. And okay. Okay, so you can see the step 1, the overfit of model. Step 1, okay. In step 1, okay, you can see the okay. Step 1, and the overfit of the model is significant. You see the chi-square, and is the 165.928. Then the p-value is less than 0.01, and the model account for the account for the okay, the model account for the 29.9% and the 44.1% of the variance in the burnout, depend on which measure of R-square you use. Okay, and the stage 2, you can see the stage 2. The overall fit of the model is you see the stage 2. Is significant. Okay. After post and the first new variable teaching. The teaching. You see the teaching. Okay. Teaching C. Is the 193.337. Okay. And the second new variable password have been entered. Is the 205.397. And then the final model account for the 0.356 or 0.52.4% of the variance in the burnout. Okay. And in terms of individual, you can see the variable in equation. Okay. Step and the final, okay. Qualifier, okay. PSE. Shift control. in here, okay. So control. Stage 1 proceed control. Here, okay. Here, proceed control. Answer right in here, okay. And step 2. MOA. Okay. Okay, so the next is the next question. Okay. So next question, maybe we leave you can practice if any question and we just X. Okay.